There is a side of power that most people never talk about. The truth is that many of the most influential people in business, politics, and social circles are not simply smarter or more talented than everyone else. They understand something deeper about human nature. They understand that people are emotional, predictable, and highly influenced by subtle psychological signals. While most people walk through life reacting to situations, powerful individuals quietly shape those situations from behind the scenes. And whether we like it or not, the world is full of people who use psychological strategies to influence decisions, control conversations, and guide outcomes in their favor. Today, we're going to uncover 10 dark psychology tricks that powerful people use every day. Not so you can manipulate others, but so you can recognize these tactics, protect yourself from them, and understand how influence truly works in the real world. One of the most common tactics powerful individuals use is creating an illusion of scarcity. Human beings are wired to value what appears limited. When something seems rare or difficult to obtain, the brain immediately assigns it higher importance. This is why powerful negotiators rarely appear desperate for opportunities. Instead, they subtly communicate that their time, attention, and availability are limited. When someone believes they might lose access to you, they automatically place a higher value on your presence. This principle is used constantly in business, leadership, and even social relationships because scarcity triggers a deep psychological fear of missing out. Another powerful technique is controlled silence. Most people are uncomfortable with silence, so they rush to fill it with explanations, justifications, and extra information. Skilled communicators know this and intentionally use pauses during conversations. When someone makes a statement and then calmly remains silent, the other person often feels pressure to continue talking. In many negotiations, the person who speaks first after silence reveals more information than they intended. Silence, when used deliberately, becomes a psychological tool that encourages others to expose their thoughts, doubts, and intentions without realizing it. Powerful people also understand the influence of perceived authority. Humans naturally trust and follow individuals who appear confident, composed, and certain of their direction. Even when someone does not hold official authority, they can create the perception of it through posture, tone of voice, and decisiveness. When someone speaks slowly, makes direct eye contact, and delivers statements with calm certainty, the brain of the listener often assumes competence and leadership. This is why two people can say the exact same idea, yet one is respected while the other is ignored. The difference is rarely the idea itself, it is the psychological signal of authority. Another darker strategy involves framing choices in a way that subtly controls the outcome. Instead of asking an open question, powerful communicators often present two options that both lead to the result they want. This creates the illusion of freedom while still guiding the decision. For example, instead of asking if someone wants to participate in a project, a skilled leader might ask whether they prefer to start this week or next week. Both answers lead to the same outcome, yet the other person feels as though they made an independent choice. This technique works because people prefer choosing between options rather than resisting a direct request. There is also a powerful psychological effect known as emotional mirroring. Humans naturally trust people who seem similar to them. Skilled influencers subtly mirror the body language, tone, and rhythm of the person they are speaking with. If someone speaks slowly, they slow down their speech. If someone is energetic, they raise their energy slightly to match it. This creates a subconscious sense of familiarity and comfort. The person being mirrored often feels that the other individual understands them deeply, even though the connection was strategically created. Another tactic often used by powerful individuals is strategic unpredictability. Most people behave in consistent and predictable ways, which makes them easy to read and easy to influence. However, when someone occasionally behaves in unexpected ways, it creates psychological uncertainty. People begin paying closer attention to their reactions, trying to interpret their behavior. This unpredictability can shift the balance of power in conversations, negotiations, and relationships, because the other side becomes more cautious and more focused on gaining approval. Powerful people also use emotional control as a form of dominance. When someone remains calm in situations where others become angry, defensive, or anxious, it subtly shifts authority toward the calm individual. Emotional stability signals strength and self-control. When one person reacts emotionally while the other remains composed, the emotional person often loses credibility in the eyes of observers. This is why experienced leaders train themselves to control their reactions, even in stressful situations. The ability to stay calm under pressure creates a powerful psychological advantage. Another subtle method involves planting ideas instead of forcing them. Rather than directly convincing someone, skilled influencers introduce a thought and allow the other person to believe they discovered the idea themselves. When people believe an idea originated from their own thinking, they defend it more strongly and commit to it more deeply. This method is commonly used in negotiations, leadership conversations, and persuasion because it avoids resistance while still guiding the outcome. A more manipulative tactic used by some powerful individuals is selective attention. They give intense focus and validation to certain people, making them feel valued and recognized. Then they occasionally withdraw that attention. This fluctuation can create a psychological desire to regain approval. Many organizations, social groups, and even charismatic leaders use this pattern to build loyalty. When someone experiences occasional validation combined with occasional distance, the brain often interprets the validation as more meaningful and rewarding. Finally, one of the most powerful psychological tools is reputation. Truly influential individuals understand that perception shapes reality. When someone consistently demonstrates confidence, reliability, and discipline over time, people begin to associate them with competence and authority. Once this reputation is established, their words carry more weight, their ideas face less resistance, and their influence multiplies. In many ways, reputation becomes a silent psychological force that works before a person even enters the room. Understanding these dark psychology techniques reveals an important truth about influence and power. The world is not only shaped by intelligence or hard work, but also by an understanding of human behavior. The most powerful people are often those who recognize how emotions, perception, and subtle signals influence decisions. When you understand these psychological dynamics, you become harder to manipulate, more aware of hidden influence, and far more capable of navigating complex social environments. And in a world where influence quietly shapes opportunities, relationships, and success, awareness itself becomes a powerful advantage.